we decided to just kind of drop everything and go to Europe. Neither of us had ever been to Europe, and we decided to go to Europe. And we were there for almost 3 months.
After you graduated from law school.
Law school.
Right. We were married.
I stayed, took the bar exam.
Yeah.
Then we just took off, and we had enough money to. We were going on. There was a famous book back then by Frommer, I think, called "Europe on $5 a Day," and so we were adhering to that. We were each, we took $10 a day for the couple. So we went all over, and in fact, interesting thing, you being from the UK. We were in Paris. You fly to Luxembourg because it was the cheapest way to fly, and I remember it was like $700 a ticket.
Yeah.
And you can probably do it cheaper than that now But anyway, you go into Luxembourg, and then we went to Paris, and we went to a little hotel, and I couldn't find the bathroom. In that entire time we were in Europe, we never had a private bathroom in our room.
Yeah,
and
that's for $5 a day.
Yeah. So I was looking for the bathroom on this floor, and I saw this blonde head poke out, and so I went down and knocked on his door, and I said, "Excuse me, but do you speak English?" He said, "My dear sir, I am English." And it was Mike and Pauline, and we traveled with them, and we went to London then, and visited them in Birmingham.
Yeah, Birmingham.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
And just went all around, and we hooked up with a couple in Oxford and traveled with them. They had an Austin Mini.
Yeah.
And then we actually...
It's amazing how you can get 4 people in the back of that.
With luggage. We actually have a film. We actually filmed doing it. Filmed our putting the luggage in.
Yeah. And
we picked up, I think, one of the very first Super Beetles that came out. It had a long nose on it in Wolfsburg. And went to Berlin, and then just traveled all the way down. So it was a great experience. You never do it. I do remember going into Amsterdam and to the American Express office. I think it was or Rotterdam, one of the other. And my mother had sent the clipping out of the newspaper of who passed the bar exam.
Yeah.
And I'm looking down, and I look at Oklahoma City because that's where we went to high school. I look at Stillwater.
Yeah.
I said, how cynical can a mother be to send you? And I didn't pass the bar. And then I looked down to Bartlesville, where my parents had moved first, and I was under Bartlesville. That was the biggest relief I've ever. I don't think I'd ever come home.
It's like I'm staying here. I'm going to take it here instead. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to stay here. But that must be one of the things I tell everybody who graduates. I'm like, take a year off and just go somewhere, travel, because you can always start work a year later. Like there's jobs, there's always going to be opportunities, but when you look back, you never really get that opportunity again because some people start families and have kids, and then they got to wait 20 years to have maybe do that. So going traveling probably in your mid-20s, late 60s, early 70s must have been an absolute blast.
Oh, and then we were young, and people took us in, and
we stayed in a lot of homes. I don't think we could do that today.
So it was a very broadening experience, and I always tell our students, if you get a chance, study abroad. I mean, at least go abroad. Because there's so many study abroad programs at universities.
Right. Yeah, I had a friend who went to OU. Actually, went to OU Law, and they have an Oxford. They have an Oxford collaboration. I think they go for 6 weeks or something.
And we have one in Cambridge.
Yeah, so much fun. You got to see it. It's and. Have you been back since to see similar places?
Yeah. We were just in London. We went to Ascot.
Oh, lovely. To see horse racing?
Yes.
How was that experience?
Oh, well, like
real horse racing,
picture
right?
me with a top hat and tails.
Top hat and tails,
Anne's hat had feathers.
Yeah.
So it was great fun. What about OSU grad invited us?
Brilliant.
It has.
Yeah, that's got to be one of the great perks for you both as well, is over your time as President and First Lady, getting the invites from grads who are from all over the world to say, we'd love to host you, come on over, and then you have this experience, but you don't get it from a tourist sense. You get the first-hand, personal guide experience.
Yeah,
thanks so spoiled.
Oliver Wilhelm's predecessor, Henry Bennett, who was kind of not founding father, but he was president for 30 years or so. But he had a very international bent.
Yeah.
So he developed relationships with universities, which then were all over the world, which was then. Actually, he was a friend of Harry Truman's, and Harry Truman created a thing called the Point Four program, and it was really sharing American know-how with the developing world. And a university they started, or he helped start. Well, I'm backing up. Harry Truman appointed him as the director, so he took a leave of absence from OSU. Yeah. And started doing it, and in fact was killed in a plane crash with his wife outside of Tehran in, I think, 51. But he started a university in Ethiopia called Hargis University, and that was started. It kind of got going finally in 54. So basically an ag school. Yeah. But and Oliver Wilhelm spoke at Hargis at one time. But nobody had gone there. No president had gone there since. Yeah. And then our 50th anniversary, we
celebrated it.
Well, we flew to London. There's a place called the Clifton House, which is out of this world, north of London, closer to Ascot. And then went to Ethiopia, and I gave the commencement speech at Hargis, which is now a university with like 30,000 students. It has a medical school. It's got a law school. It was quite a great experience, and then we came back to UK and finished off toasting our honeymoon, our 50th wedding anniversary.
What a way to celebrate your 50th wedding anniversary! Yeah,
it was remarkable. But you also talk about world travels. It's amazing how small the world is, and we have a bazillion stories. But one of my favorite is being in the airport in Dubai, 3 o'clock in the morning Dubai time. And it's like Grand Central Station on steroids.
Every native dress, every language.
We are hauling our luggage, and through this cross section of chaos, somebody says, "Go Pokes." And so there were OSU grads who were also traveling the world, 3 o'clock in the morning, who saw our luggage. So you just connect with people everywhere you go.
Yeah, we visited a lot of those universities because we have these ongoing programs. Yeah. China Agricultural, we have a shared ag program. Southwest Zhongtong in Chengdu, we have an engineering program, Fudan University, business programs. These are all in China, but they're in Turkey and Buenos Aires and
Malaysia.
Malaysia, you name it, Thailand, yeah. And the beauty of it is when you're there, you're hosted by the university. And university presidents are a big deal over there. Not so much here, but they're a big deal over there. I remember, just as an example, in Bangkok, there's this wonderful temple, and I mean, people are lined up around it maybe twice trying to get in. We drove in they opened the gates, we drove in because the university. Yeah. So it is the ideal way to visit a country.
It's spoiled you.